RamCountry.com proudly presents TNT Outdoor Explosion.
Welcome to TNT. This week I get to hunt one of the most amazing animals in all of Africa, the majestic black sable. This is TNT.
TNT Outdoor Explosion is brought to you by RamCountry.com, Venture Out, HuntingTrophy.com, logistics experts, Dead Downwind, your last line of defense in the field, ESP Digital Hearing Protection, empower your hearing, Sweet Apple Game Calls, it's the sound that counts, Nature's Fury Nutri-Drink, find your fury, or our ranch, where hunting meets the mother road. Nichols Custom Guns. When you only have one shot, use Nichols Custom Guns.
Well, I was talking with Lisa, who's the owner of TDK Safaris, about her operation, and she was telling me about all the great animals they had to hunt. So I told Lisa it was about time for me to take another safari, which would actually be my 16th safari, and I wanted to do it with TDK Safaris. So a few months later, I was on the plane, headed back to the Dark Continent. Well, after we arrived in Africa, we just went to a local B&B to spend the night and have a nice dinner and a good rest. And then the next morning, Lisa and her crew were there to pick us up, and we were headed to TDK Safaris. Well, I was chomping at the bit to get to TDK Safaris, and during the drive we were discussing a lot of the different animals on the property, and one of the animals that really flipped my switch was a white blessbuck. Of all my trips to Africa, I've never shot a white blessbuck, so we made that the priority when I arrived, and hopefully before I left I would have a white blessbuck on the ground.
Okay, we've spotted a big group of blessbuck, and there's one white blessbuck in the group, nice male. So we're going to put a stock on them. I've never got a white blessbuck, so we're going to see if we can get on this white one. And the wind's right, the sun's in a good position, so everything sets up good. So We gotta go, see what happens.
Well, we had spotted the blessed buck from a distance, and we identified a clump of brush that was probably going to be about 200 yards away. So our plan was to try to get that brush between us and the blessed buck, and if we could make it up there, there would be a good chance we could get a shot. Well, we were able to successfully make it up to the thicket, and by the time we actually got there, most of the blessed buck were all laying down. So I went ahead and got on the sticks and thought we would wait until the blessed buck stood up. But little did I know how my patience was going to be tested. Well, we were on the sticks about an hour before the blessed buck finally started standing up. And then once they did stand up, they were constantly moving. There was one in front, one in behind, crossing each other. So I could never get a clear shot. We had to reposition I don't know how many times, but eventually I finally got a clear shot on the white blessed buck, and I let him have it.
Nope. In front. Ball game.
Finally, holy crap.
Holy crap. Folks, we just shot a white blessed buck here with TDK Safaris. And it was the craziest hunt. We snuck up from a long way on them. And we've been sitting here for the last hour now, almost.
At least.
An hour moving from here to there, to here, to there, trying to get a shot. I mean, we probably ended up getting a shot a couple hundred yards there. And there's not real thick cover, but there's just enough cover and enough blessed buck were constantly either in front of or behind the white one. But, you know, I guess patience pays off on this situation because I just got an awesome white blessed buck, saw it fall right over here. So we're gonna go recover this thing and take a look at it. But man, Dakota, that was fun, brother.
Congrats, man.
Thank you, man. That was
Thanks
fun.
for being patient.
Well, I've been very lucky to get to go to Africa many, many times, and I've shot a whole lot of really great animals, so I don't have a whole lot of first anymore. But to have this white blessed buck was a first for me, and I was very excited to have this white blessed buck on the ground.
What we've done here is we have harvested a white blessed buck. And blessed buck are very common in Africa. The white ones are not near as common, and here at TDK they have this beautiful white blessed buck, and I mean this thing's got some serious length.
Oh, some serious length.
Yeah, so this is a very mature shooter animal that I was very fortunate to get. Had a severe quartering angle, had to go in basically at the front of the shoulder and come out the other side to get both lungs. And luckily for us, we did.
Yeah, no kidding. And I mean, she was intermixing with every one of those blessed buck. I mean, she would not give us a shot for anything.
No, I've never had a 1 hour stalk, and the farthest I went was 20 yards.
I mean, you put a great shot on her. She didn't go very far. She went, what, 100 yards?
Yeah, that we saw her falling.
Yeah.
You know, she
yeah,
fall.
Yeah,
She fell
so we
when
saw her fall,
so
and
double lung, good shot.
Yeah, it was a great shot.
Great job of getting us on her and finding us a shot. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that we could get a shot. I mean, I didn't think it was going to happen.
I didn't either.
I was just moving around just hoping she would just stay still.
Yeah, so, man, what a great animal. Well, again, TDK Safaris.
Todd?
Thank you, buddy.
Good shot. Thank
Dakota,
you.
good job today. This was fun.
When I initially talked to Lisa and she had told me that she had black sable, that was a no-brainer. That's one of the funnest hunts that I get to do in Africa is the black sable. And every time I've hunted one, it's been an amazing hunt that's never forgettable. Well, Dakota was my PH on this hunt, and he knew an area where there was a big open field and there was an area where the black sable had been bedding on one side and a creek on the other. And so we thought we would set up in that field right before dark and maybe we could catch one of these black sable heading to bed.
Well, we are looking for sable today, and we've been covering a lot of ground and we've seen everything but sable. So we're going to go walk another area that Dakota has seen sable in the past. So we're just going to hope that there's one in there, then that he's a shooter. If he is, we'll see if we can get it done. Let's go.
Well, as we were sitting there, a black sable came busting out of the thick brush. I don't know what spooked him, but he did not like being in that open field. I quickly got on the sticks, hoping I could get a shot, but unfortunately, no shot was to be made.
Well, we just saw a great sable, but unfortunately he was spooked, and he came across this field running. I was able to get on the sticks, but with him running and bouncing back and forth, I was never able to get a shot. So he just kept on running up on this hill behind me, and I think he's still going. So unfortunately, we're not going to catch up to that one today because we're maybe an hour at most of daylight left. So, but the good news is there'll always be another day. We'll try again.
Well, we started early the next morning on the hill where we last saw him run last night, and hopefully we could track this big sable down and get a shot. Well, unfortunately, we weren't able to keep up with his tracks. There's no telling how far he went during the night. So we decided to take a break, go in and have some lunch, and come back again later and try to get on him again. Well, the terrain that we were in that day was a lot different. It was thick brush, big timber for Africa, a lot of rocky terrain, which is an ideal area for the black sable. So we decided just to start walking through all the area, and hopefully we could catch a glimpse of him before the day was over.
I think what's gonna have to happen is we're gonna have to get him when he's over there. Sorry, man.
That's something, man. Can't do anything about that.
Well, we covered a lot of terrain and walked miles and miles that day, and we saw a lot of great game and spooked some animals, but unfortunately we never saw the black sable. So we knew at that point it was time to call it a day, and lo and behold, as we're heading back to the truck, there stands the black sable. Well, we were pretty down because we were starting to think the black sable had just completely disappeared, and we hadn't seen any sable at all. But as luck would have it, we did see a black sable that was a mature male. So we quickly stalked in, and I was able to quickly get off a shot. Well, we had to quickly throw up the gun and take a shot, and all I had was a frontal shot. And as soon as we took that shot, I knew that we should follow up quick because there would be a chance we might have to put a second shot in this beast. Well, we actually followed this sable. I think we just got one lung on the first shot, so it was apparent that we were going to have to put a second shot in pretty quick. And I had a couple opportunities where he moved right before I was getting ready to shoot, but eventually he was in some thick brush, and I was able to squeeze off a second shot and dropped him in his tracks. Well, I was sweaty, exhausted, and had put on a lot of miles, but I could not be happier to have this black sable on the ground.
We have a big, beautiful black sable with TDK Safaris on the ground. What a great trophy. I mean, to get a black sable. Yeah, he's down. All we gotta do is go take a look at him. That right there, my friends, is a beast. This is a big, beautiful sable I just shot here with TDK Safaris. And you know, when you get the opportunity to hunt an animal like this, you got to take it. This is probably one of the most desired, sought after plains game trophies in all of Africa. This is an absolutely beautiful animal, and I could not be happier to have this guy on the ground. Special thanks to TDK Safaris for an absolutely great time, a great trip, and really the trophy of a lifetime.
Wow, what an incredible trip we had with TDK Safaris. The people are absolutely first class, and it's really neat to hunt at a destination owned by Americans. If you'd like to find out more information about TDK or any of the outfitters or sponsors seen on our show, be sure and check out our Facebook page or our website at tntoutdoorexplosion.com. And until next week, remember, do what you love and share it with your family.
Closed captioning brought to you by ESP America. TNT Outdoor Explosion is brought to you by ramcountry.com, Venture Out, huntingtrophy.com, logistics experts, Dead Downwind, your last line of defense in the field. ESP Digital Hearing Protection, empower your hearing. Sweet Apple Game Calls, it's the sound that counts. Nature's Fury Nutri-Drink, find your fury. Or our ranch, where hunting meets the Mother Road. Nichols Custom Guns. When you only have one shot, use Nichols Custom Guns.
Set up on that field and maybe catch blessed buck. Well, Dakota was my PH on this.
Oh!